Story 1. I was broke. Between student loans and rent, I couldn't afford another month of instant noodles. That's when I saw the listing. Night shift security. No experience needed. $30 an hour. Cash only. Too good to be true, right? But I applied anyway. The building was a storage facility about 20 minutes out of town. One of those places with long halls of steel roll-up doors and flickering motion sensor lights. The manager, a pale older guy named Len, barely looked at me when I arrived. "Simple job," he muttered, handing me a worn key card and a notebook. "Stay in the office. Do a walkthrough every hour. And most importantly, don't go near Unit 137. Don't open it. Don't look inside. If anyone's there, especially if it's a man in a red suit, don't talk to him." I thought he was joking, but he didn't crack a smile. "You'll be fine. Just follow the rules." The first night was uneventful, boring even. I walked the dimly lit halls every hour, drank bad coffee, and skimmed the logbook, mostly maintenance notes, until I hit a page with a single scribble. He spoke to me again. I stared at that line for a while before slamming the book shut. On night 2, around 2:14 a.m., I heard something. A soft knock, 3 times, coming from the hallway. I peeked at the monitors. Nothing. I stepped outside the office, heart racing, and walked the length of the corridor. At the far end, one unit stood open an inch. Unit 137. I swear I hadn't touched it. As I approached, I heard humming. Low, tuneless, almost like someone trying to remember a lullaby. I backed away and locked myself in the office. The next morning, I told Len the unit was open. He didn't react. "Don't approach it. Don't speak to him. Ever." I asked, "Who is he?" Len lit a cigarette with a shaking hand. "We don't ask questions here. That's how you stay alive." I should have quit then, but I didn't. On night 3, the cameras went static around 3 a.m. Then, footsteps. Slow, deliberate ones, coming closer. I stood at the edge of the office, holding the door slightly open, barely breathing. And then I saw him. A tall, thin man in a deep red suit, perfectly tailored. Pale hands. Face. Wrong. Like it was made of wax that had just started to melt. He stopped in front of the office, tilted his head, and said, "You're not like the others." I slammed the door, locked it, hid under the desk until sunrise. When Len returned, he didn't ask questions, just handed me an envelope full of cash and said, "You're done. Don't come back." I asked, "What's in Unit 137? He looked at me for the first time. Nothing. Not anymore. I never told anyone what happened. But a month later, I saw a new listing online. Night shift security. No experience needed. $30 an hour. Cash only. Same wording. Same location. Same rules. I wonder how many more names are in that notebook. Story 2. It started with a Craigslist ad. Caretaker needed. 3 nights. $1,500 cash. No chores. Just keep the front door locked at all times. No guests. No job title. No company. Just that. I was in between gigs, broke and desperate. I figured it was one of those weird rich people things, like some paranoid hermit hiring someone to house sit a vacation spot. I texted the number. The reply came fast. "Do you understand the rule?" That was it. No greeting. Just the rule. I said yes. A location ping followed. It was deep in the woods, 3 hours out of town. The guy said a truck would pick me up. No need to drive. I probably should have seen the red flags. But $1,500 for sitting in a cabin? Alone? I packed a bag. The pickup arrived late. Rusted red Ford with tinted windows. The driver didn't say a word, just gestured for me to get in. He was pale, expressionless. Eyes never left the road. We drove in silence for hours, turning off paved roads, then gravel ones, until we were deep in the forest. No signal. No signs. Finally, we stopped in front of a small log cabin. Old, but well kept. Smoke curling from the chimney. The driver handed me an envelope, $750 cash, up front, and pointed to the cabin door. "He'll come back for you in 3 nights," he said. "Just remember the rule." Then he drove off. Inside, the cabin was cozy. Wooden walls, stone fireplace, stocked fridge. Rustic, but livable. On the table sat a handwritten note. "Stay inside after sunset. Keep the door locked. Do not open it for anyone, even if they sound familiar." That last line rattled me a bit, but I chalked it up to eccentricity. Maybe this guy had a stalker, maybe a bear problem. That night, I bolted the door, threw on some music, and tried to relax. No cell service, no Wi-Fi, just books, a fire, and my own thoughts. Around 2:30 a.m., I heard something. Tap, tap, tap. Not at the door, at the window. I froze. There were 3 taps, evenly spaced. Then, silence. I peeked through the curtain. Nothing. The trees were still. The moon hung heavy over the snow. Then the tapping moved, around the cabin, from window to window, slowly circling. Tap, tap, tap. All was 3 knocks. I turned off the lights and sat in the dark, gripping a fireplace poker. Eventually, it stopped. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I found footprints in the snow. Bare feet. Human. They led up to every window and stopped at the front door, then back into the woods. I checked the lock 4 times that day. Night 2 was worse. At 3:12 a.m., the power went out. No lights, no heat, just a fire slowly dying in the hearth. I piled on blankets and sat in silence. Then came the whisper. "It's cold out here." The voice was soft, too soft, like it was pressed up against the wood. "Let me in. I know you're in there." It sounded almost like my brother, but I knew it wasn't him. He was hundreds of miles away. The voice circled the cabin, switching tones, ages, accents, like it was cycling through masks. At one point, it sounded like my mother. "Sweetie, open the door, please." I covered my ears. It kept going for an hour, maybe more. Then silence. On the 3rd night, the temperature dropped hard. My breath fogged the room. I kept the fire going, piled furniture against the front door. At 1:44 a.m., the bolt unlocked. I heard it. I leapt up. The door creaked open just an inch, letting in freezing air. I slammed it shut, pushed everything against it, hands shaking. Then I heard the voice again, right on the other side. "You opened it. That means I can come in next time." That's when I noticed. There was no keyhole. The bolt wasn't mechanical. It wasn't even connected to the handle. It had moved on its own. I stayed up until dawn, staring at the door. The truck came at exactly 9 a.m., the same driver. No words. He just gestured for me to get in. When I got home, I counted the rest of the cash. $750, just like promised. But that night, I got a text from a new number. "Thank you for watching the cabin. You followed the rule. You made it out." Then another. "Most don't." 2 weeks later, I saw the listing reposted. Same job, same wording, same cabin. If you made it to the end, you're braver than me. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more stories that'll keep you awake at night. And if you have one of your own, or suggestions for what I should cover next, drop them in the comments or send them my way. You know where to find me.